David Archuleta, singer, songwriter, actor, and runner-up of American Idol Season 7. Thank you so much for being part of Three Questions.
Oh, it's good to be here with you.
Now, a lot has happened since David Cook just blatantly stole the American Idol title from you in 2008. Catch us up on what you've been doing. What's kept you busy?
Well, first up, I do have to say, I think David Cook, I think he was a great title, ownership of that title that year. He's a great guy, but thank you. It's been busy. 10 years have passed since that time, and it seems like it's been a lifetime because I feel it's like life before, before being 16, it wasn't as busy and hectic and crazy as the 10 years that followed. So it's been touring and recording and connecting with audiences. It's been an amazing experience and a lot of learning. It's given me a lot of perspective to have all of that to compare into my hands. A lot of opportunities to experience what people say will make you happy. Like, this will make you happy, that will make you happy. This is success, that's success. You're really not living and you're really not fulfilled unless you've experienced this. A lot of those things, like, okay, I've been able to experience them and see for myself and be able to make that decision for myself as well. If this really will make me happy, and if not, to see where else will bring me happiness. And I've found that usually it's the small and simple things that bring the greatest happiness.
Do you consider yourself happy now?
I do consider myself, I do consider myself happy. I think I'm actually a lot happier than I was before. I think there are times of disappointment, so I've been bummed out. There are times where I feel down. I have my moments where I feel depressed. And even going through all of that this year, but also feeling fulfilled, feeling like I'm moving forward. And I think the whole of that, being able to overcome, a lot of times is what brings a lot of the biggest happiness and relief, to know that, wow, that I was able to get over that hump and that ditch in my life. I think I may not always feel like this. I'm sure, who knows, in 2 weeks I'll have another moment where I feel down, but
You might be human.
yes, that's a good way of explaining it. I'm human. Ups and downs, but overall I feel like I'm happy.
What makes you happiest?
What makes me happiest is being able to accomplish what I didn't think I could, knowing that my limits weren't what I thought they were. Because a lot of times, I can't do that, or no, that's too hard, or this is too overwhelming, I'm not going to get through this. And then afterwards, once it's gotten through, and I don't know how I got through it, but I did, because I'm still alive. I mean, I'm still here right now. It's like, oh, I'm still here, and that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. And that's always a huge relieving feeling, like I was saying. And but I think another thing that brings me the greatest joy, like as I mentioned, are small and simple things. So being able to visit friends of mine or family and spending time with them is a really nice experience for me. I love hearing people's stories, what they enjoy, what matters to them, and how they look at life, and what I can learn from that. I love those experiences, and they make me happy. Music is a way for me to get to know people, but I wouldn't say that music is what brings me the greatest joy. It's a tool, it's a vessel for me to connect with people and to serve people. And I think connecting and serving with people is probably the greatest joy I can experience.
You have a new album coming out. You're touring regularly. You're going to be touring in Utah in December.
Yeah, a lot.
Tell us about this new album. What's different about this new album?
What's different about this, because I did have a Christmas album that I did 9 years ago called Christmas from the Heart. I tried to make that one just entirely a lot more just calm, a lot more easy listening. I didn't really go for any happy, bouncy Christmas songs, but this time I did. So this new album, Winter in the Air, I wanted to have, the first song I released is one I wrote called Christmas Every Day. And it was just about all the fun things that make you think about Christmas and that make you look forward and excited for that fun feeling. So I have things like that and Holly Jolly Christmas on the album because I wanted to have fun this time. But I still didn't want to stray too far away from the reason for the season, which is, Christmas, Christ and his birth and the essence of what that is. So I sang a lot of songs that still touch on that, the sacredness of it, like Mary Did You Know and O Come Emmanuel. And
some wonderful Christmas traditional music. It's been 10 years since your smash hit Crush and American Idol and that whole thing, but you did an awful lot of singing prior to American Idol and Crush and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
As you look back, how has all of that preparation, how has all of the singing, the competition, Star Search, all of that, how has that prepared you for what you are doing now?
Well, when I was little, I had a reputation for being antisocial. I didn't like being, especially from like 4th grade to like 8th grade, I just don't know what was wrong with me. I just was super to myself. During recess, I would go sit at the end of the field just to be alone. And not only that, as I got into junior high and started having friends, junior high and high school, I had a reputation for having a camera phobia. I hated cameras. They knew that I wasn't going to be in the pictures. And if I were to accidentally be in one, I would delete it because I just didn't like myself. I didn't like the thought of other people having to look at me. I thought it was just it was like a burden for them to have to look at someone like me. I just didn't think highly of myself. So I had to get over that by performing. And usually the way that I was able to overcome that was my parents would push me to go in front of, I didn't like singing in front of people. I liked to sing by myself. That's where my parents would hear me, in the basement or in the yard, and that's how they knew I liked to sing, because they would hear me out there, and they would say, well, you should sing, you should. I'm like, no, I can't even bear the thought of other people watching me and having to inconveniently listen to me. I don't like my voice, so why would other people like it? I don't know, I was just a very strange, pessimistic child, but they would coax me by saying, if you do this, if you sing at this restaurant with us, because they were performers as well, you'll get a free meal. And I couldn't turn down food. Yeah. If there's anything else that brings me joy in life is food. So I was like, okay. So
you got me at food.
Yeah, so I don't know. I do love food. That's another thing I love to do is go into restaurants. But maybe God saw that I had one challenge, but I also had a love for food, so he used that to help me overcome my weakness. I don't know, but I managed to start getting in front of people because of that, because I would go to the restaurant to get some food. And I started seeing other people get emotional when I would sing, and I was like, what's going on? I was like 9, 10 years old. I didn't know why they were getting emotional. Particularly my grandpa Archuleta, he never was very emotional. He was pretty stern. He's a boxer. And I would see him just change. And I was like, what's going on? Like maybe he's proud of me or something. But as I continued getting older and performing, I saw that people would still get emotional. And I'm like, I think they could probably feel what I feel. Because I sing because I love what it makes me feel, not because I want people, as I said, I didn't want anyone to hear me sing, but I loved how it made me feel. And as I got older and in front more public things, I realized I think music is a contagious thing. It's a way of connecting and communicating because I can show and share what I feel with other people. And so that whole process took me several years to learn, but I use it now. I use it to my advantage to share messages and get points across and to help people feel peace and to feel happy or feel encouraged.
Are you still shy?
I don't think so. I think I still don't love attention, but I feel like I'm comfortable presenting myself. Being a missionary for 2 years and constantly putting myself in front of people in Chile helped a lot with that. And I was constantly in uncomfortable situations and constantly criticized or called out for who I was and what I believed and such. And so it got me comfortable to be uncomfortable. And since being in front of cameras and
that's part of television, you know.
Yeah, it's it's kind of that. I've gotten comfortable being uncomfortable.
You had an acting career in the Philippines that I don't think many people know about. Tell me about that. What happened that you were on a primetime television show in the Philippines?
The Philippines, they're very supportive of American. They're huge fans of American Idol and just pop music in general, and singing. They've been very supportive of my career, and for a few years, they had invited me to be a part of these mini-series, kind of like soap operas out there. And I just was like, well, no, I'm not an actor. I don't have time for this. But about 2 months before I went on my mission, I decided to accept one and say, you know what? Why not? It's all, for me, it's about trying new things, getting out of my comfort zone. I don't act, but I'll just go for this. They were very willing to work with me and my lack of abilities. So it was a good experience. I made a lot of wonderful friends from it that I still can keep in touch with now, which is really nice. Filipinos have really wonderful hearts. They're very kind people, and they're very passionate, and they're very sincere, is what I liked as well.
As you've been growing up, the music industry has been changing dramatically. How difficult has it been to be successful and hit a target that is moving all the time?
That's a great way to put it. It is like a moving target. And I think it always has been like that, because even when I was first starting, they were saying, oh, things have changed so much. So you can't do things the way you did before. And they're saying the exact same thing now. And they're right. We're in a world where our technology is so fast. The rate of just the technology and the new ways of doing things is at such a fast pace that it's hard to keep up with it. And I think at first I was like, I don't think I can do this. Maybe I'll just become a psychologist or something. But because I like connecting with people. But I thought, you know what, it's a good challenge. I think in this life we're supposed to put ourselves in places where we can grow, and that takes having to go out of your comfort zone. It has to continue taking steps forward. You can't just stay where you are, where it's comfortable. Well, even though that's very tempting for me every day. Every day it's tempting for me because I like to be comfortable and just, low key and stuff. But I feel like God put me here for some reason. I didn't ask necessarily to be here to get as far as I did on American Idol and to have singles that everyone knew. But I've learned instead of to always ask, why is this happening? Why me and why this? Whether it's a good or bad, why me? I've learned to just accept it and say thank you, and I'm going to try and learn what you want me to see in this case and become who I believe you're trying to help me become.
There are Latter-day Saint young women all over the country, probably all over the world, who think you're the one.
Oh boy.
What are we going to tell them?
Well, I guess it's something I know that it's my choice. It's my decision. I appreciate a lot of the messages, the kind messages. Some of them I feel go a little far, where they feel, especially like young girls, I think they're just emotional. Sometimes I think it's easy to get emotions mixed up. So I get a lot of messages saying, I felt prompted to write you. I said a prayer and your name came into my head. It's just like a lot of strange
in
things.
the background.
And they're just like, I just felt like I needed to write you and to present myself to you. And I feel this feeling with you. And it's like, you know what? It needs to go both ways. So, revelation
Really?
and promptings when it comes to relationships, it needs to go both ways.
Yes, of course.
And it's the majority of time it doesn't go both ways. And if it's the few cases where it's not, I will let them know directly, But otherwise, then, it's, yeah.
Is there anything in the offing? I mean, do you have someone you're seeing, or?
I take time to get to know people because marriage is something that it's a priority for me.
Yeah.
It's actually even more priority for me than music. My time has not come yet. But I've learned a lot and I look forward to it. I can't wait to be a dad and a husband, and it's something I look forward to.
Well, David Archuleta, singer, songwriter, actor, and in our hearts, the winner of American Idol, Season 7. Thank you so much for being part of 3 Questions.
Thank you.